Good morning. Well, I can't say morning. Hey, everybody. I don't know if it's morning, afternoon, noon, night, whatever you're watching, but hello. I pray that you guys are enjoying this terrific Tuesday and that you guys started the week off yesterday with a wonderful start. I'm going to be honest and transparent with you. My morning was horrible. Not that anything major happened or transpired. It was just that I had a hard time pressing this morning. I just couldn't seem to pull myself, to give myself that push that I needed, that good pick me up, or that I just kept trying. And no matter how hard I was trying, I was real sluggish. I just couldn't move, you know. And I just got a late start in doing the things that I needed and wanted to do. But I am going to do what am getting ready to tell y'all to do, or what I always encourage you guys to do, and that's just to hit that reset button. Yesterday was a new start, a new beginning, more opportunities for more blessings, and I'm going to simply hit that reset button, and I'm just going to start over and try again. And that's the unique thing, the awesome thing about the reset button and the power of prayer, because at any time, if it's not going, all you need to do is recollect, regroup, and just try again. Hit that reset button and a new start. And we can utilize the reset button in our marriages, in our relationship, in our day, whatever we're going through. We can just pause, just stop and recollect ourselves and regroup. Now, I know it's easier said than done. Some situations are harder than other situations to bounce back from, but the beautiful thing about it is that there is a reset button and we can start along with prayer, going to God and giving it to God, because God is available 24/7. When we can't reach our friends, when I can't reach you guys and y'all can't reach me, and maybe our parents are not available, our church family, God is always there. So in that reset, that regroup process, when you're hitting that reset button, there's an opportunity for prayer when you can collect yourself and just give it to God. And like I said, the beautiful thing about prayer and the reset button is God is there 24/7. He's an on-call healer, doctor, provider. He's our lawyer. He's our he's our on call. And so that's what I had to do for myself this morning, just to give me that little bit of push, because it's not, like I said, nothing major happened or transpired. I was just feeling really sluggish, and I kept in my mind, I'm like, come on, Tracy, you got to do this, you got to do that, and then I wanted to do certain things, and I was just feeling like real mushy, like, oh, like it. And I'm not sick or anything, but I mean, my body is a little pained. I am experiencing, the things that I shared with y'all that I was going through, but other than that, I just feeling really weak, really low. My energy was very low and just tired. Like I said, I needed a pick me upper. But the power of prayer, boy, I tell you. But again, I hope you guys are starting the work week off right and having an amazing day on this terrific Tuesday. It's beautiful outside. Who wouldn't want to be out there? But I don't know, with all these things going on, I don't know, in my area, I really just want to be in the house. But stuff still got to get done. Bills still got to get paid, so I get it. We got to go out. We got to go to work. We got to go to school. We got a life. It's just lifing, you know. And that's what all it is. Sometimes I have these spells and I just be lifing, and that's okay to life. It's okay if we're going through lifing. But the important thing is that we bounce back, And so, yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all on today. Yesterday we had our shepherd's bread. Oh, and thank you for those who came out. Yeah, I had some people come out to shepherd's bread, our food pantry, and who came to service. So I appreciate y'all for that. God bless you. And again, we'll have shepherd's bread again on Thursday. So if you know anybody who need any resources, or if you yourself need resources, please come out Thursday about 9 o'clock. Just sign in real quick and jump in that line, and let us bless you with a food basket on today. No, it's free of charge. And because of the amazing weather that we have, we also have the some clothes outside, a few household items and stuff. So come on out there, y'all. Get in line at 9 o'clock. It'll be awesome. Um, so yeah, I don't want to be before you long. I just really wanted to talk to y'all about. I hope y'all still marinating on that question I asked y'all. We're gonna touch on it, but just not now. It's grace. And do you feel like grace can run out? Grace with God. When God gives us grace, do you feel like it can run out, and why you do or why you don't? But speaking in terms of grace today, I want to share something with y'all. So I ordered some stuff a little while back from I was gonna say Wish, but I did order some stuff from Wish, and I'm still wishing that my stuff came, because it just never came. But I ordered some stuff a while back from Temu, and Yesterday it said my stuff was delivered, and it indeed wasn't delivered. Like, it was multiple items and only one part of the package was delivered. And nonetheless, it said 11:57. So later that evening, after the family came home, because their packages was included with my packages too, and they kept showing me on their phone that it said delivered, and my phone said delivered. So then I guess the driver made a second route, and then we seen him go down. I seen her go down there to the mailbox. So we're thinking that the packages were, the other part of it would have been in that delivery right there, and it wasn't. I tried to wave the person down. She didn't stop, but then she stopped, but she didn't stop for me. She stopped, messed with her phone or something like that, and then she left. And so I went up there to the post office and tried to talk cordial to them and asked them. They said, well, ma'am, your package says delivered. I'm saying, but I'm clearly telling you that my packages are not delivered. So then they were like, well, let us contact the driver and let's see what's going on. So they took my information, said that when she came in to turn in her mail truck, they were the supervisor, that is two supervisors, said they were going to have a conversation with her. Took my information, said they were going to call me with an update before the close of business, or at the close of business yesterday. So that did not happen. So then this morning, in the midst of trying to pull through, I called them. I've been calling them since they were open. They didn't answer the phone. So then I pull up there, hurting and all. I went up there. I gave them an opportunity to reach out to me. So I waited till like the afternoon, not too long ago, and went up there and had to stand and wait an hour in line. There's like 8 people in line. I called them while I'm standing in line, and the phone's just ringing, but you don't hear it on their end unless they got the ringers turned down or turned off. So I'm like, I'm sitting here calling them, and you don't even hear the phone ring. And I did verify that that was indeed the right number. So where I'm getting at altogether is when it was actually my turn in line and I spoke to somebody, they were getting ready to do the same thing. Just take my information and be like, we'll call you later. I'm like, no, guys, somebody already took my information. So I just need to know, what are y'all going to do about this? Y'all going to contact the driver? Like, what? I'm not leaving till I get some type of clarity. But mind you, I was cordial. So then they go in the back, talk to the supervisor. Supervisor, I said, I want to speak to the supervisor. Supervisor would not come to me, but the agent came back and told me, well, we're just swamped with a lot of stuff right now. Basically just writing me off, telling me we're swamped with a lot of things going on. You're not the only person, who has an issue. Our supervisor's busy. And just gave me a whole bunch of excuses and all this, that, and the other. Like my problem wasn't a priority. And then again, they just took my information and said, I said, but they said they were going to contact the driver yesterday when she turned in their truck. So somebody had to have seen her. He said the supervisor told him that when the driver came there, he asked the necessary questions, and the supervisor just didn't know and couldn't provide the answers to the questions that he was asking. So they just went about their business. So I'm stuck without answers, without a package that I paid for, and nobody can give me any kind of conclusion. I mean, it's somewhere. It's in somebody's mailbox right now, and they probably open my package and have it, or it's sitting on somebody's mail truck, on her mail truck. But when I wanted to find myself getting mad, this is where the story is going. When I wanted to find myself getting mad, I was like, all I'm going to in turn do is get my blood pressure up, get all rowdy, this, that, and the other. And at the end of the day, the supervisor's still not going to come up there and talk to me, or he might, but I don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm still not getting my package right then and there as I'm demanding my package. Or that's not going to make the driver stop her route, go whatever she's doing, and go put it in my mailbox. Now, that would be the ideal situation, that they'll just say, okay, let me go to the back and hand you your package, or let me call that driver and tell her to come here right now and go stop what she's doing and go deliver your packages, or come have. That would be the ideal situation, but that's not what happened. So, like I said, while I wanted to get mad and be upset and be angry because I'm ready for my packages that I've already waited long enough for, instead, I was just like, see, when I find myself getting in those type of situations, I'd be like, what would Jesus do? I have to tell myself, now, Tracy, what would Jesus do? When somebody cut me off on the road, and especially if my children are in the car or their friends, I'll be ready to want to lash out. If people think I'm so quiet, I can be, but some things do provoke me. So I ain't going to act like I'm all quiet and shy and holy and sanctified. I'm keeping it real. I have moments too, and I'm human too. God's working on me. We're all a work in progress. And I'm better. Like, I never was bad, but I am better. And I say that because, like, say, for instance, if they're in the car with me and somebody cut me off on the road, or something happens, we almost get in an accident, I'm like, oh, and I'm ready to go off, But then I know that they're watching me, and I have to set examples for them, because they're going to follow the generational curse, or the generational, patterns, if you will. So, I have to catch myself, and then when I be wanting to say certain things, and I be like, the good angel be sitting right there, and the bad angel be sitting right there, and then I have to be like, no, Tracy, what would Jesus do? So then I had to ask myself, what would Jesus do? And I said, okay, I'm gonna regroup. I'm gonna press that reset button. I'm gonna act like that. At the end of the day, that's somebody's mother, father, cousin, husband, wife, child, uncle, aunt. So I know that once too. I was a person, like when I started off in fast food, sometimes I was the only person, or in some jobs, retail jobs I've had, sometimes I've been the only person working when I was young, starting out, and I had a long line wrapped around the building, or like 10 to 6 people waiting online, and they're huffing and puffing, and I get it, but I know that I strive for excellence and customer service. People mindset be different. Some people it's just a job. Some people is they do strive to do 100% on their job, whatever. I was always that person that it never was just a job for me. I take my job seriously. So, and I had a great teacher too, and a great employer. They got on my nerves while I was in the position and at the jobs. Mr. Mack, if you ever watching, and Miss Nancy, they were so hard on me. But to this day, I thank them so much for instilling certain things in me about etiquette or customer service, and just a host of a lot of things that you take to a job with you. Because if it wasn't for them, I probably would be like, this is another job. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. And so I appreciate when you excellence. I appreciate those type of things. Customer service is real big for me. I do understand people make mistakes. Even on my job at working at the hospital, coming there I was new. I made mistakes. So when I want to be mad at certain people for things that they do, whether they're losing a package or they have the worst customer service, or maybe most of the time in a situation, they just can't do certain things. Like I guess what I'm trying to say is that cashier. Say we're talking about a cashier. We want to get mad because we're sitting with the 10th person in line. The cashier's by herself. She's moving slow. You're like, oh, man, this is going to be my whole lunch break. I got to go. Man, come on. Can you hurry up? Can you move faster? We have those moments. We think it if we don't say it. And at the end of the day, that's somebody's daughter, mother, sister, aunt, child, whatever. And they might just be doing the best that they can do, especially with limited resources. They're only one person. I'm not going to say that I don't get mad. I get upset too, because sometimes I try to take care of business on my lunch break. And like right now, it already took me a long time to press and get up and go to the post office and for somebody's negligence and mistake, and then being on the phone with them and not getting through to somebody is even more frustrating. But sometimes I do realize that we have to show people grace. I don't condone certain things when it comes to employment, to jobs, as far as people moving slow or messing up on orders. Like sometimes some people like, oh, it was just a sandwich, let's just go. No, I do strive in excellence, and nobody's perfect but God, but I do strive for people working to their fullest potential. Now, sometimes I went to a place and I told them no condiment, like a specific condiment, like I'd be like allergic to mayonnaise, allergic to pickles. And then they put it on there anyway. That's attention to detail, because you can cost somebody their life by not paying attention. And that's why I'm so big on that. And sometimes I get it. I make mistakes too. But that's why we have to go back and check ourselves to where we're limited to making those type of mistakes. And because I make those mistakes, I try to instill those in my children, because my children, I tell them the same thing when they forgot one simplest thing. And I said, well, what if that doctor forgot to do this that to you, or and cost you your life, whatever. I try to use those examples, to them to go back and check themselves, make sure that they're doing things right, and so same thing with employees. Now, I'm not the one that be checking the other employees, because I'm not the manager, I'm not the, but I do make it my business to bring certain things to their attention. Like, hey, excuse me, I told you no such and such on here. Or, like the guy was just trying to write me off and just get my information. I said, excuse me, they did that yesterday, and y'all already took my information yesterday. So what are y'all going to do about this today? I either need my items refunded or I need my package. So, but I prefer my package. So what are y'all going to do? So you have to be an advocate for yourself. But a lot of times it's how you talk to people. A lot of people think that all that yelling, screaming, da-da-da-da-da is going to get your stuff. Sometimes people get rude and nasty. But then if you be too silent about stuff, they think you're a pushover, or they don't take your matters very seriously and stuff like that. So it's like, what do you do? But I just feel like we have to show people grace in certain situations like that. Because what if it was you? I know there's a time and point in your life when you were on a job and didn't have the answers, or wasn't moving up to a certain standard, and people were huffing and puffing at you. You know, maybe you didn't see it or hear it, but they were. Or maybe you messed up on somebody's order or their item or something like that. You know, the long story short, I'm sure we've all made mistakes on our job or in life or with people at some point in time, and somebody showed you grace. Somebody showed you grace and didn't curse you out. And if you did, then I don't know. But the point of the matter is, somebody showed you grace. Somebody just spared you, you know, whatever. So that's just the important thing, is showing people grace. You know, because like I said, I wanted to lash out. I wanted to be mad. I'm angry because one person's telling me I got my package when I'm clearly telling them I didn't, you know. And then even before in another job, somebody overcharged me, and I'm sitting there trying to tell them that they did. And I have the proof to show them that, look, you overcharged me for this, such and such. And like I said, it's even harder when you're trying to instill certain things when your kids are watching and they want to, like, how you about to handle that, you know, whatever. So I know that they're always watching me and seeing how I'm going to respond to certain situations and how I'm going to handle people. But the biggest thing that I try to also teach my children is that they have to be advocates for themselves, and don't let people push you over. You know, and sometimes they want to be nice. They be like, they'll settle. And because they got it honest. I used to do the same thing. When people used to do certain things to me, I just used to, when I was younger, I just be like, just to not be confrontational. I just used to accept things and be like, okay, like whatever. But I'm tired of taking the L. I'm tired of being the short end of the stick. I'm tired of being the bigger person. And we actually spoke briefly about that too in church, about being the bigger person and saying I'm sorry and settling for certain things. So, but I do want my children to be advocates for themselves. I do want that when people tell them things, make sure they understand why people said the things that they said to you, versus just settling for things that's okay. Because there's been times when people have told me stuff and I've settled for what they're saying. But then when I go over here and network or find out later, they be like, oh, no, that's not it. You know, you could have done this, right? Like there's another solution to the problem, or another solution, or another way of how something could have been handled. Because sometimes people don't know everything. They don't know the ins and outs, you know. So, and then people need to quit telling people how to do their job. You know, sometimes we go to people's job and they try to tell us, because I know sometimes people don't know their full job, and maybe you only know what somebody did for you last time, which could have been a favor or whatever. But a lot of times people go to people's job and be trying to tell them, well, all you got to do is just, can't you just give me a refund, give my money back? They don't understand that it's not as simple as just going in the drawer and giving them money back. It's steps we got to do, because checks and balances, you got to cross the T's and dot the I's and make it right on the other side also. People be coming to people's jobs and just be trying to tell them how to do their job. And you can't do that. Same thing with coaches. When we on the football field. And I know, because I used to be that parent. Not like that. But I'd be like, coach, da 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 da. You know, or say certain things. But everybody want to be a coach. When it's game time, everybody want to coach. They want to talk to the kids. But in practice, don't none of these people be there at practice to see how these kids play, what they're doing, whatever. But then on game time, all these parents want to come up there and be trying to tell the coach how to coach. And I'd be like, listen, at the beginning of the season, they opened up and said, anybody interested in coaching, come fill out this information, go online, do a background check. And we'd be more than happy. They always looking for coaches at the rec center. So go apply and see if that background check come back. And then you go out there and then you be a coach. But don't be coaching from the sideline as a parent. That's all I'm going to say about that. Because it's just, you know, that's a whole other thing. Like, I ain't even going to get into that. A situation transpired on the football field with us last weekend. A rec game. I don't know if I mentioned in the other video, but we made a clean tackle. Our boys, this is a short version. And then we just made a clean tackle. We were like 28 to something, 30, whatever. It was whatever point. We were in double digits. It was the 20s, 30s, or the 40s. And the other team hadn't scored. We made a clean tackle. One of the other players ran up and punched our boys. Then after that, I guess they kept hitting. Then our boy retaliated back. Next thing you know, both teams just jumped in and collaborated, just started fighting. Then next thing you know, the parents jumped into it. Now, not making it right, but I seen stuff like this at an AAU game, maybe even a high school game. But a rec game? Come on now, a rec game? Even the ref got tossed for getting in the middle of it. It was crazy. So we're sitting here on suspension right now. I will say that I didn't have a part in it. You know, I really did. It was just crazy. And my son didn't play a part in it. He was there on the field. You know, he did his thing. He tackled, you know, did his part. But like they weren't the ones over there throwing the hands. That's it. You know, I'm smiling, but I'm really being serious because I'm just trying to think how everything played out. It was a mess. But we got to give people grace. The same way you want God to give you grace, the same grace that you want people to give you when you make a mistake or when you're slow or when you're new to a job or new whatever. The same grace that you want people to give you, you got to give people that grace, okay? And at the same time, be an advocate for yourself. That's all I want to say today. In the words of Miss Sharonda, she'd be like, and that's what I got to say today. That's it. I really don't have much. I thank y'all for watching. I just pray that God continue to guide you, lead you, keep you covered. May you guys have a blessed rest of your week. Remember that I love you, but God loves you more. Yeah, that's basically it. Grace. We got to show people grace. Yeah. And I just pray that I get my package, y'all. That's what I want. Pray for my strength. That's what I'm asking y'all to do for me today. Just pray for my strength. I don't know. Like I said, I'm having a hard time just pressing today, but I'm hitting my reset button. I'm praying for a better second half of the day. Just asking God to give me strength. I'm praying for healing over my body today. From the crowns of my head to the sole of my feet, Lord God. I'm declaring a healing over everything that's going on with me right now. Someone watching this video may be going through also today. Whatever it is that you're going through, I just ask God to continue to move in your life and bring you clarity and understanding about the situation or whatever you're going through. Those of you who might be fighting illnesses or have pain or whatever your body might be going through, I just declare complete healing over your body on today. Love on somebody today. Tell somebody you love them. And I'm signing off now, and I look forward to connecting with you guys in the next video. Remember, grace, y'all. Grace.